because it dictates. You cannot be a king with one wife.
Okay.
Yes. You cannot lead people. Yeah, it means you cannot lead people.
A few days ago, I was invited to cover a funeral event, and actually what happened here is a culture shock for me, and I believe someone else out there who would have seen this would have had the same shock. And I'm doing this conversation in the light of shining, the knowledge out there for somebody else who might be interested about what happens during a funeral for the Luhya people, particularly the Bukusu. And I have been fortunate enough to have one of the daughters, bereaved daughters of the family, shining light into what happens. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope this gives you the relevant information. Uliniambia kuna processes tofauti. Kuna a woman na a man.
In Luhya, although we differ a bit because of there are so many dialects, and we differ somehow just the way we perform, we differ in time. So when parents die, according to Luhya, a parent who has children, the rituals are different from a parent who doesn't have children. And also, if your children are married, the way it is performed is different from, like for instance, me, I have children, none is married. So my funeral cannot be the same as the funeral of my father or my mother. In a manner that when my husband dies, there is nothing like ng'ombe kutoka kwa kina, that's an animal from where my daughter is married, because none is married. And then when I die, I'll just be buried the same way like those one without children, because we don't have that second generation. But if you have a second generation, now like my parents, their children, the boys are married, and the girls, or now the girl, is married.
Okay.
When my dad died, that first day he died, when the body enters the home, an animal is supposed to be slaughtered. That first animal is supposed to be of my dad. And if he did not have an animal, then the boys are supposed to give an animal to be the first animal to be slaughtered. Although now for my case, my brothers didn't give an animal, so I gave an animal to my dad. So it is believed I took away those blessings, according now to the Luhya culture. But because we were young, we were not aware of that. For me, I knew I was mourning my dad. So an animal was just to come to be slaughtered for my father. So according to the Wanga, where me am married, an animal is supposed to be brought during the funeral to be slaughtered as mboga for the bereaved.
Okay.
So the funeral for my dad ends there. So from there, that is for the girl. And that day before burial, the women, the wives to now my brothers, the daughter-in-laws, are supposed to go to their homes to call officially. Officially means they are supposed to leave home immediately when the body arrives.
Okay.
So they go to their home, they inform those people that our father-in-law has died. So people will come now, the co-wives and the in-laws, they will come with that now the daughter-in-law bereaved, with a hen, which is supposed to be a cock because it is a man. Then when they come with that cock and some maize and some money, so they will place, according to the Wanga, it will be placed outside the house, and it will be taken by a woman who is a widow, not from that family.
From another homestead.
From another family. But now, to my culture, that's the Bukusu, them, it will be just taken by the in-laws of the late, and even the senges, and be consumed.
Okay.
So, and then according to the Wanga, that woman, when picks, that is the maize and the money plus the kuku, they are not even supposed to be picked by one person because they are just thrown at the doorway. So when you pick, you go and go. You are not supposed to come back, according to the Wanga.
Okay.
Now, according to the Bukusu, it is picked by the Senges and the in-laws, then they consume and they continue with the funeral. So the second day, people goes to mtoni kuoga and kuosha hizo nguo zenye alikufa akiwa nazo. So the family will come back, go to the grave, sing, place flowers there, and then go to the house. And then third day, according to the Bukusu, a man, it will take 2 days. So after 2 days, they will sit and then evaluate and analyze what debt has he left behind and who has his debt. That's now wealth counting, and in the wealth it includes the children that person has left. And if there is anything, maybe any complaint you had, that's the time you place your complaint. Maybe the son to this man fathered. Those are some of the debts. Maybe the daughter-in-laws, the dowry has not been given. That is now the wife to that man. Maybe now my mother. Maybe didn't give dowry. So that's the time my uncles will ask. So after that, the culture is gone. You can come back for after the 40, you might not come back. That calls it. According to the Wanga, if there is kingship, like now my husband, they are supposed to come back to look for what they call a machina.
Machina.
Yes, there is a place that is the wealth. There are some rituals that are supposed to be performed. Maybe I might not tell you. No, but you are a journalist like my son. Let me not deny you that information. Yeah, because I know what you people normally go through when looking for certain information for the sake of also educating our kids who are running away from that very culture. Yeah. But now the very culture again, it is very, very bad because it also tells their people not to disclose the very culture. So I'll just give you this information basing on that because you people munataabika. Yeah, that's sympathy for my son. I will also give it to you. So what they do, that is after burial, immediately after burial, they will bring an animal. When they will talk to that animal and ask that animal, now the man has died, my husband died, so an animal is brought and it is told, oh, I will use my husband as an example. They will ask that animal, Javan, kindly have mercy on us. Are you ready to leave your kingship to your children? If the animal will not comply, then it means this person is not ready to leave. Maybe he's still contemplating on whom to leave that kingship to hand over those powers. But if he has accepted, then the animal will behave. So that animal will be talked to, and then they will do now the interviews. And those interviews are supposed to be done by all the children, and they are not supposed to be children from the same mother. They are supposed to be from different mothers.
In the case of a polygamous home?
No, more than one woman.
Okay.
And they don't value a child you fathered before marriage or outside. That's, you never stayed with the mother of this child. So that child cannot perform your ritual. Okay. Yes. So you're supposed to have more than, that's why polygamous in Luhya culture is a bit hard to control, even in big people who are educated, who knows there are things like HIV and other STI complicated. Yeah, it is hard because there is some kingship you are supposed to hand over. And that's why even religion is also hard, because you cannot be a father, you cannot be a sister, and yet there is some kingship that is supposed to be handed over to you.
Yeah.
Yes, because it is supposed to prove, now whom will you give? You are supposed to hand over to your child. So when you become maybe a father, then it means, and now they cannot welcome even that priesthoodness. Now you will find a place whereby some Catholics who are Luhyas, you find that it now keeps them off, because if I'm supposed to wed, then it means I will do what? I'm not supposed to move in for another woman. And now some are forced to move in for another woman, but now they cannot chongea meza ya Bwana. They cannot go to the Eucharist. So they cannot be the Christian to that, because we believe in kutubu na kusali.
Yeah.
So they cannot repent. They can just go for advice, because you cannot go to request to repent and you are staying with this woman. So are you getting it? So
yeah,
you get it is also hard for religion also to penetrate, and even that Christianity, that true Christianity, it is hard for even our priests.
Because of the culture.
Because of the culture. Okay. Because katika kutubu, this man will go to the father, then will repent. I moved with somebody's women, because it's not allowed in Catholic. The non-Catholics are the ones who say Catholic hawana shida. Sasa that animal, if it the deceasers are accepted, it will urinate. So there is a child who will hold the kamba and the rope. Then there is another one with a spear. If it urinates, it means he has accepted those two people to lead the family. The one with the spear to be the king, then the other one to be the assistant. So they will throw the spear to the animal, direct to the jugular vein. Then that animal, before it falls, they will watavuruta hiyo kamba into the house of mwenda zake. So then it will be slaughtered in that house, and then meat will be shared. So those two boys, the one mwenye alishika kamba na mwenye alishika spear, watalala kwa hiyo malazi ya baba yao. Kwa hiyo nyumba wataishi ndani ya hiyo nyumba, like ritual ya kutahirishwa, wataishi ndani ya hiyo nyumba siku 3. Then they will not be eating food from anywhere. There is another king that is a brother to their father who received that kingship. That kingship is only handed over to another one after demise. Yes. So those are the kings who will be responsible of taking care of these new kings within those 3 days. So after 3 days, before they join the other siblings, because they are still young, they have not married, before they join those young ones, they are supposed to be given some herbs to take. Then those others are also supposed to be given herbs. So after that, they will join others, but now they are kings. They can participate in other kings' meetings of other families. But now those machina I told you, it is a meaning rock, but they are not rocks. That king who passed on, alificha mahali. Sasa during that night before handing over that kingship, inatafutwa with a tamaduni sherehe known as Shirembe. So inatafutwa, they sing, they rotate. Then there is a man who comes, and then they will identify that place penye alificha. Then those machina are handed over to those boys who are married. And those that are not married, it is kept by another king who is a brother to that one. So it will be handed over with a sherehe when they marry. Okay. So The other now a culture that will be performed, it can now be performed after 10 years. That is now the time of those machinas now are given to these boys. They will dance and do it now. All those boys, that's the brothers to sons to this man. They will dance with their spears. Now they'll have their own spears. And then wanaingiza hizo nini to their houses. Now with your wife. If you have 4, that first wife. If you have 2, that first wife. Okay. Starting from the first house, you go enter each house. As each house has prepared brew with a ng'ombe. Then it is slaughtered in each one's home. Then mnaenda mna dance to the grave. Then that is the end of culture for a man. Back to a woman. A woman, when she passes on, the first, that is your daughter, elder daughter. If you had even 4 boys in front, that elder daughter is now the first child. So you are supposed to go to your place you married when the body enters the home to call them officially. Then these other ones are also now supposed to, that's wives to your brothers, are supposed also to go to their homes. Then back with a kuku, place it there at the door. And then to the Bukusu culture, that kuku can be eaten by them. That is what my mother said. But where I'm married, it is not supposed to be eaten with anybody you are related. And then after that, that's the second day after burial. They are supposed to take you to Mtoni. Those clothes are washed by your mother. Then you are the one supposed to be the first one to Mtoni to bathe. And then after you, the protocol now comes, mtoto anafuata. Like our case, my brother ndo mkubwa, but sasa wanaanza kunifuata mimi nyuma. Narudi.
The first daughter?
I am the first daughter, fortunately the only daughter. Now tutakuja to dance around the grave, then tuweke our flowers from the grave. We go to the house, they pray, and then we eat. Then today, second day's work is over. So to the third day, very early in the morning, that's 6, the church with Salvation Army, they will come, pray, take tea, and then they go. Then my husband's, now from my case, my husband died. But now the brothers, we value all of them are my husbands. So they will come with an animal. That grave, the way it was, they spread that blanket. She's naked, the way my mother said. And now she's even sleeping beside my dad. So she's supposed to be covered. Because to them, she's sleeping with my dad, she's naked. So they are not supposed to look at her naked while
she's sleeping.
Yes. So that blanket is covered and it will be covered up to 40 days. So my child, now I'm a grandchild, will be waking every day morning. Atakuwa anatoa, anakunja, anaeka. Anatoa in the evening, in the morning, anafunika. But me, I cannot cover my mother because she sleeps with my dad. So I cannot cover her. But a grandchild can cover. Yes. My brother to my father can cover her. So that evening, they will also place their tar because she's in darkness. So until that 40 days, we believe ametoka, ameenda, hayuko tena. So tomorrow when they come, they are supposed to be here very early in the morning before, in fact, 8. Before they start the lufu, they are supposed to have gone. They cannot enter. I think you saw there was an argument. They buried near the gate. They are not supposed to be close to that grave, but they are supposed to sit in front of the house. But they cannot sit beside the grave. We have another route, the other end, that can lead them to a position which is not near the grave. But now that is behind the house. So they cannot come behind the house because they're not coming to seduce my mother.
Okay.
Yes, they can, when they come behind, they can find my mother as hanged her private clothes behind the panties. So they're not supposed to come behind. Maybe she has forgotten. Or maybe my mother is urinating, because as mother is not that one only. Sisters to my mother are my mothers. Wives to my uncles are
your mothers.
Yes, even those neighbors to us are my mothers. Remember, my father doesn't even have a brother. So everybody.
Is your father?
Yes, is my father, that category, because here is home.
Okay.
Yes, when my father seduced that woman, I don't know. So all those women are?
Your mothers?
Yes, are my mothers. I don't know if my grandfather bore my other father, but was not brought to this home. So anybody within is my father, and anybody within is my mother. And anybody my age is my sister or?
Your brother?
Yes.
Okay.
So they cannot come through the behind route. So that's why even they will sit just beside that road. And they're supposed to take not more than 10 minutes.
Inside the homestead?
No, they will not enter the homestead because the grave is at the gate. So they will just sit outside there.
And not for longer than 10 minutes?
Yes. So within that 10 minutes, they'll just take tea and mandazi. And if hauna pesi ya haraka, utaacha hata kwa kikombe. Utakuwa unatakana upeane bahasha yangu pole, upeane bahasha ya mama pole.
Okay.
And then they take off. Immediately after they take off, there is a ceremony called Lufu. So in that ceremony, they are supposed now to come and sit. And that ceremony is supposed to end before saa sita. So in that Lufu, labda mtoto alizaliwa na ndugu yangu nje na hajulikani, huyo mtoto hiyo ndo wakati anakuja. Asipokuja hiyo wakati hatutambui.
Okay.
Labda kuna kitu alikupa, labda kuna kitu ulidai. So isipo resurface pale, that is a gone story. If utatakana kuuliza, then you will use law. And ukitumia law, huenda we can challenge you with this because it is a customary law. Yes. Because pale kwa podium pa matanga hatuwalau mtu kudai. So if you don't come that day, we call that, yes. Yes, they will talk of her wealth starting with watoto. Up to shamba yenye tuko ndani. Up to kama walipeana dawari, kama hata kwangu kuna kitu wanadai, hiyo ndo wakati natakana waulize.
Okay.
Yes.
So about watoto and watu wengine wenye they are not married, it's a different.
For those people who are, let's say if you are not married and you are a girl, na umepitisha wakati wa kuoa, where I come from, you will be buried behind the house in the ndizi. And if you are not, if you are married and maybe you are unable to bear a child, there is what will be done to you before corpse itoke. And then after that, watatoboa shimo wakutokezee pale. Na here, even my sister is just besides, I think you saw in my reaction, my sister is besides my grandmother. And she was married, she had children. As here, we don't discriminate. I'm a child of my dad. I can be buried beside my dad. But my mom will be buried on the right-hand side. No, left-hand side of my dad. I cannot be buried left-hand side of my dad. But I can be buried besides my dad. I can be buried besides right-hand side. But now I can be buried there because my mother is there. Yes. And if they were to bury me, they were to leave a space for my mother. Because if I'm buried beside my father on the wrong side, then it will mean mimi ni bibi yake. And when they bury, all the children, you are supposed to give your back to the homestead. We say huftarira elitala. You are supposed to the head will now face this side, and then your back is supposed to
face the
yes. I think you saw when they said tengeneza mama, mpindushe mpaka miguu. She was to face the other side, not face the home. It is believed if you face the home, you will finish everybody. Everybody will follow you. You will keep coming. So when you face away from the home, that means we umeenda na umeenda. But where you come from, they value which hand are you supposed to be buried. So if you are buried on the right hand side, if you are a man, they talk of it means huyo mwanamke ndiye amekuzika. If you are buried on the left side of that house, it means yeye amekuzika. So we differ in culture, but there is a lot in culture, and it dictates most of the things now people do. Because we have, like now when we came from the morgue, you saw there was a lot of delay. Because if you are married, you have a family, you are an old person. Like you can reach here anytime. But if you are an old person, you're supposed to, if you are a woman, you're supposed to enter in the evening. My mom said, time when girls go to marry. In the evening. And we ask her, they normally go at what time? In the evening. So they believed that all the delays, we didn't find our house in time, then the cloth was delayed on the way, and then there was what? They said no. Marem wanted to reach home the right time, the time when she went to get married. Then for a man, they normally say you are supposed to reach in the evening, the time when kuku wanaingia. Yes, because you are the one to lock the gate. So you are supposed to enter that evening time. Then we also believe in time of passing on. We believe a gentle person, a gentleman, or a gentlewoman, you are supposed to pass on either very early in the morning or after saa saba. Not even after saa saba, after saa nane, evening, PM. Yes, that's the time. Then they say, yes, you are somebody good. But if you pass this other time, it means, hey, you have a lot of question mark. There is a question mark.
There's a lot about you.
Yes, we start analyzing your stay.
Okay. Yeah, so acha ni ushamaliza story yako.
Yeah, I'm through.
So tusema no, iko dakika ngapi? 5. So naweza kuuliza swali alafu
uta-edit.
Nita-brief, nita-edit. So according to the Luo culture in general,
the Luhya culture,
how do you value life and death? Because the things that you do in between shows that there's some sentiment that you hold. Yeah,
this culture to me, there is nothing that will be done if you don't do this culture. What these people simply wanted was somebody should be mindful when he or she is still alive, and also somebody to value family. Because if you don't have a family, it means your funeral, you can even be buried even in the morning. You can reach even home, which means you are people, that is the family by extension. It means they might even get you when you are buried. Because if you have a family which has another family, it means you are supposed to enter home in the evening, which means there will be that patience of waiting. And then by the time you reach home, people would have gathered. Again, there is that nini of if you marry, the way your nini is done is different from that one who had not married. So that simply communicates. If you have children, you are supposed to tell them to value family, marriage, family, to value their family, that is children, wife. Because you will still need them when your parent has passed on. You are supposed to go and call them. And if there is that communication is not there, how are you going to tell them? Imagine if I did not have that good interaction with my family. My husband passed on. And me, I don't communicate with these people because I feel I don't need them. After all, my husband died. Now my mother has passed on. I'm being told, go and call them. How will I call them and I don't interact with them? So I fear even when my husband has passed on to maintain that good relationship because I will need them. There was something they were trying to pin these families together. Even after death, there is need of good relationship because I will need you and you will need me. So there is need of that relationship. And then there is also need of continuous kujuana. Because when they will come tomorrow, those who didn't come during dowry, tomorrow they will be present. And my moms who are not there and my uncles who are not there, they will see them tomorrow. And also there is that need of, even if he passed on, watoto wangu sasa, watajua, okay, these are our uncles, so we still belong here. You see, there is that continuous nation of relationship because, like, I'm sorry to use another tribe. You see, Kikuyus, once you move, you start a family there. Even Luhya, you start a family from another place. So it is like cutting. But as even if you've moved, you will need me. You need to come and call me. Yeah. Where Nico? Okay. So for me, I appreciate, although it is expensive. That is the challenging, but it is expensive, it is unbearable. And you saw, like, we came from the church very late. I'm supposed to reach in my home, and I'm not supposed to come back before noon. And I even arrived at Satano, which was almost away, and we were being even hurried away on the way.